Hi friends, this is Dheeraj Gupta, Managing Director and founder Jumboking, the burger born in India. Today I'm going to be speaking about what is the philosophy that we use at Jumboking when it comes to creating a very high powered team, because I think in today's world and time it is the teams which actually make organizations into winners, and it has to be a win-win situation where on one side, of course the organization wins in its business goals, and on the other side the individual team member will also wins with their personal aspiration goals. So I had undergone this amazing training at with Rajiv Dalreja, and we use a lot of what we learned over there in building the foundation of the kind of work environment we have in our place. And this is, they call it the 3C culture, where I really liked this entire approach and we have adopted it very seriously. So I'll brief you what the 3C stand for. The first C stands for clarity, the second C stands for competence, and the third C stands for culture. I'll explain to you what the meaning of each of these in this particular context of team building is. So, as the leader of the organization or as the leader of any team, the main role that the team leader always has is of providing clarity to its team members, which means whether you have annual goals or quarterly goals or monthly goals, being able to very clearly tell your team that this is what we are driving towards, and I am expecting a particular contribution from your side, which should, if ideally, if it can be made measurable by a number, it tells your team, your team member, what he needs to be working towards, and how, if he's successful, it will be evaluated by him meeting that number, or if there has been a shortfall, he will know that it is because he did not meet that number that he was evaluated as not being successful for that particular quarter or year. So I think, having been in business for 20 years, having interacted with a lot of fellow entrepreneurs, I think that people, this seems so obvious. However, 90% of team leaders are not able to clearly articulate or provide with clarity their goals to their team members. If you are able to do that, I think half of your battle is won. So that is the first C, which is clarity. The second C is called competence. It stands for competence. So over here, what I understood and what we implement is that once you have got a good team player in place, right, and you have provided him with clarity, then you have to get out of the way and let the person perform, right? Because you have gotten a team member for his competence skill set. He's supposed to be the domain expert, and then you have to, at the end of the month or the quarter or the year, whichever goal line you follow, you have to give the person feedback of where he may be strong in terms of the his competence attributes, and where specifically he needs to work on which aspect of his particular function to be able to become a very high performer. So when the feedback is based on this kind of objective thinking, it is both positive, and it has an improvement side to it. And I think the conversations that we have internally within the Jumboking team have become way more constructive once we have started telling people that these are your strengths, this is what you need to probably work on to become a much a better professional, because that is how they are going to grow as they become more and more valuable to the organization. So that was the second C, which is competence. I have spoken about first C, which is clarity, and the second C is competence. And the third C, the most important one, is about the culture. So as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, as the head of the organization, or as the head of the department, what culture are you promoting, right? So there has to be a way of giving feedback. There has to be a way of telling people that you are not happy with what they have done. There has to be a way of complimenting people when they have done well. So the entire the culture that is there in the organization, that is what needs to be nurtured very very carefully. I have seen that there are very high performance organizations where people are performing but they are very unhappy, right? Because language used probably is inappropriate, and they would do anything to get out of there, but they don't do that because they're just getting paid very well. And then there are organizations where people are very happy, they're all contributing towards a common goal, and they enjoy coming to work. And that is the kind of culture, if you're able to get into your organization, it makes your organization a place where everybody wants to be want to be working and contributing and growing themselves. So the three C's: clarity, competence, culture. I think this gave me a framework. Again, all credit to the Rajiv Dalreja training system on what is the which part we need to work on and become a better team. So I hope this helped, this video, and I'll be happy if you all have any questions to reach out, and we can always have a discussion. Thank you.